There's a silent commander inside your body. It's this invisible network making life or death decisions every single second, and it's all completely on autopilot. We're about to dive into this incredible system that runs your most critical functions without you ever having to think about it. All right, let's kick things off with a little puzzle. I want you to picture this. A Formula One driver sitting perfectly still on the starting grid. The engine is just screaming, the lights are about to go out, but physically, they aren't moving an inch.
So the car is totally stationary, but their heart is pounding like they're in a full-on sprint. I mean, how is that even possible? Well, the answer lies in a hidden control system that's flooding their body with go signals, getting every single muscle and cell ready for that explosion of action to come.
And that system is the autonomic nervous system, or the ANS for short. You can think of it as your body's master programmer for literally everything you don't consciously control. It's the ultimate autopilot, managing your inner world so you can focus on the outer one. Now, this system isn't just one thing. Oh no, it's much cooler than that. It's more like a dynamic duo, two opposing forces locked in a constant state of tug-of-war, all to keep your body in perfect balance. So it really boils down to two sides. On one hand, you've got the sympathetic system. This is your famous fight-or-flight response. Think of it as the gas pedal just burning through energy to get you ready for action. And on the other side, you have the parasympathetic system, your rest and digest mode. Yep, that's the brake pedal, the one that conserves energy and handles all the body's housekeeping. And here's where it gets really amazing. Both of these systems are wired directly into the same organs, your heart, your lungs, your stomach. They're constantly sending these competing signals, this push and pull, to fine-tune your body's response to absolutely any situation. To really see how incredible this is in action, let's talk about a giraffe. I mean, think about it. It has to lower its head over 2 meters, that's more than 6 feet, just to get a sip of water. So why doesn't it just pass out from a massive head rush every single time it stands back up? The answer is this lightning-fast reflex, all orchestrated by the ANS. So here's what happens. The very moment the giraffe, or you for that matter, stands up, these little sensors in the arteries detect a sudden drop in blood pressure. Instantly, before your conscious brain even knows what's going on, the fight-or-flight system kicks in. It squeezes the blood vessels and speeds up the heart, just enough to shove that blood right back up to the brain. All of this happens in a fraction of a second, completely automatic. So how do these nerves actually send their go and stop commands? Well, it all comes down to chemistry. We're talking about a whole network of tiny chemical messengers. See, each side of the ANS uses its own unique chemical messengers, they're called neurotransmitters, to talk to your organs. It's kind of like they're speaking two different languages, which is great because it makes sure there's absolutely no confusion in the commands being sent. So here's the basic breakdown. The parasympathetic, or your rest system, it primarily uses a messenger called acetylcholine. Meanwhile, the sympathetic, your fight system, mostly uses one called noradrenaline. See? Different messengers for very different jobs. And the process itself is like this tiny biological relay race. An electrical pulse just zips down a nerve, which triggers the release of these chemical messengers. They float across a microscopic gap, lock into specific receptors on the target cell, and boom, the message is passed along. It's an incredibly precise and ridiculously fast system.
Okay, so if this whole system is based on these specific chemical locks and keys, what happens if we create our own keys? Well, that is exactly what modern medicine has figured out how to do.
Let's take the EpiPen. It's an absolute lifesaver for people with severe allergies. And what's inside? A massive dose of epinephrine, which, is really just another name for adrenaline. All right, the super technical term for this is an adrenoceptor agonist. I know, it sounds really complex, but all it means is that it's a drug designed to perfectly mimic the body's own fight-or-flight messengers and flip on those specific receptors. In other words, it's a powerful artificial go signal. It literally forces the airways to open up and the blood pressure to rise. It's basically hijacking the body's own emergency response system to fight back against a life-threatening allergic reaction. Okay, now let's look at the complete opposite. This is atenolol. It's a very common type of drug called a beta blocker, used for things like high blood pressure or anxiety. Instead of activating the system, it does something else entirely. This one is called an adreninoceptor antagonist. It's designed to fit into the exact same locks as the fight-or-flight messengers, but instead of turning the key, it just snaps it off in the lock, blocking the signal from ever getting through. So it's pretty simple. If the EpiPen is a giant go signal, a beta blocker is a giant stop signal. It tells an overactive heart to just calm down, effectively slamming the brakes on the fight or flight system to lower blood pressure and reduce strain. Ultimately, whether we're talking about our body's natural messengers or a drug we introduce, it all comes back to this one central idea: balance, or as scientists call it, homeostasis. And you can see this perfect opposition just everywhere in the body. The fight system speeds up the heart, the rest system slows it right back down. One opens your airways wide, the other narrows them. One dilates your pupils to let in more light, the other constricts them. This constant push and pull is what keeps you stable. It really is a beautiful, almost impossibly complex dance, right? A delicate balancing act that makes sure you're ready for danger, but also allows you to rest, to repair, and to recover. And the wildest part? It all happens without you ever knowing a thing. So the next time you take a breath or feel your own heartbeat, just remember that silent, intelligent system working tirelessly behind the scenes. And maybe ask yourself, what does this perfect, unconscious balance tell you about the incredible machine that you get to live in every day?